Clayton Stevens. And his opponent from Kensington, Prince Edward Island via Dorchester Street, Charlottetown. He is the one, the only tree fighting maniac, Kevin McGee. Tonight's match is sponsored by the Big Bahamian and Cowboy Gym to the tune of $500. Each of our opponents have put $250 in the pot for a $1,000 winner-take-all match. It's going to be a race to 9, winner breaks. We're going to lag for break, and I'll invite our special guest, pre-birthday boy referee Wayne Dwyer, to get the match started. Good luck, gentlemen. Thanks very much for participating today.
That's as low as it'll go. Drop 9, perfect.
All right. This is going to be a good one, guys. Hope you all are having a good Thursday afternoon. About 4 o'clock in Calgary. It's 7 o'clock here in Charlottetown. It's Ben Francis, not Grant Zemp. Sean, but I'm doing great. How are you, sir? I'm doing great, Lou. How are you, sir? Jerry? Grant tuning in as well. Looks like probably not the start Magoo had in mind there. Nothing on the break, which is big in this game. 8-ball on the 9-foot tends to be a very wide open game. Oh, he did make a ball. I didn't see the break, but it looked like he was disappointed. So he's going to attempt to run stripes here, and only because he didn't have a shot on a low ball. Otherwise, I'm fairly certain he would have tried to run the solids. For everyone just tuning in, we are live in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, Canada. We're at Dooley's on Kent Street. And we're watching a good one here, guys. It's the Magoo McGee Challenge. Crafty little shot Magoo played there. He knew he shouldn't be making too many more balls before he figures out a good safe. It's not bad. I think McGee can see the 6, but I don't know how much good it does to shoot it. Might be crashing into the 8. He'll need to find a pocket for the 5 ball, is in a bit of a weird spot, so this should be a good start. It's a good pot. And these guys are racing to 9, and I believe it's winner breaks, but I'm not 100% sure. But we'll find out. We'll find out after the first game. This is Magoo Stevens here. Coming to the table. He'll need to find not only a pocket for the 13, but this 9-10 on the bottom right corner of your screen is going to be the biggest problem. We did get 12 holes in, Grant. We managed to play 12 holes before we had to run to CBC to do the radio interview. But it was great. It was a little wet again, but it was nice. And just so you know, Andrew is really good at golf. Watching from Illinois, Rick, welcome. For everyone else watching with your volume on, click that share button. This is going to be a really, really good match. I'm sure you have some pool friends out there that want to watch this, or share it with some pool groups that you're a part of on Facebook. We are also on YouTube. It looks like he solved half of the problem, at least. He's on this 9 ball. But can he avoid moving the 10 ball again? And I don't really think he can unless he wants to play the 10 in the long pocket, which is not ideal. He's going to stay below, play it in the same hole. That's not bad, but it makes getting on the 13 a world tougher. To be honest, I'm not sure what he does with that 13 ball. He might have to run into it here. Ideally, he run into half of the 5 ball. Then he might have a shot at the side or the bottom left corner. James. Yeah, Grant, and I'm sure he'll go back and watch. So he'll catch your comment there. But he had a couple drives over 300 yards. He just rips it. Told him I'd trade him pool lessons for golf lessons, but this is in Charlottetown, Matt.
Table 1, Leanne Giles and Deanna Rasmussen. I hope I pronounced your name half decent. Table 9, Amber Thorpe and Robin Allen John.
This is not bad. This ball does go in the top right.
Thorpe on 9, Leanne Giles and Deanna Rasmussen on 1. Please.
I wasn't sure this ball went in the top right, but it does because he played shape for it. It must be a little bit tight because he's looked at it a couple times. He'll have to watch the side pocket coming into play with the cue ball. That's very well struck, but is it overhit? Oh, certainly. I don't know if this banks in the side, but we'll have our referee, Wayne Dwyer, come in for a closer look. Just going to keep an eye on this one. We're super lucky we have arguably the best referee in the country here to ref these challenge matches, this one and the one tomorrow night. I think he can bank this in the side, but it is very, very tough. No, he moved the 1 and the 8 might have had a chance, but it was a good hit. He didn't follow through it at least and double hit it, so he'll make McGee work for this. I think McGee can shoot the 4. Then the 5 should lead him to the 7 ball on the side, but he's just going to play safe, and I'm not sure I like this. I'm sure Magoo loves this. It's a free shot. And often people find a way to make this ball. He's going to kick around the 5. He might have to watch the side pocket here if he hits it really good.
Thorpe and Allen Johns on 14, I apologize.
Sorry, guys, the speaker is a little close. They're announcing tables there, but hopefully you guys can bear with it. And yes, Mr. Zemp,
Table
7
8,
p.m.
Danielle
tomorrow,
White and Serena Studley.
4 o'clock
Studley and
Calgary
White on
time.
8.
Well, this time McGee's going to try to run it out. Just one good pot on the 5, and the rest is all fairly easy. We'll see if he rolls this in or if he stun follows it.
Table 5, Ryan Epp, Mark Fraser.
That's going great, Kevin. How are you? I'm having a blast out here. As Grant said, Andrew Sprague is a fantastic host. Super great guy. I had lots of leg room too. I saw that. You guys always troll in the Facebook. Everyone's got a joke, but I usually make the joke first. It's going good, James. Thanks, Grant. I will definitely be fighting hard. It's quite the opportunity. I'm excited. And these guys are going to give me a little taste of what it's like to be out there. And there's easily 20, 30 people sitting around watching this as well as playing in their matches. Got Ryan Epp warming up on the table to the right of this one. He's about to play his first match. Oh, that's a pretty good two-way shot by McGee there. Another free look for Magoo. I don't think he can see the edge. If he could see the edge, he could cut it in. But he's going to kick it again. Needs to play this with siding. Probably quite a bit of left siding because his side pocket is where he needs to hit it. Unless he hits where he's aiming there and hit it hard with right siding, but this is tough. Oh, that is so close to perfection. Really good shot by Magoo there. And that'll maybe show McGee that he doesn't want to play too many of those safeties. Yeah, Grant had to work, guys. That's why Grant couldn't make it. Which is too bad because we're playing team event and we could use them for sure, but we picked up this gentleman right here. TJ Gulliver picked up Mr. Magoo, who in fact can see quite well. Yeah, he does. He jumps a little, but only certain situations. Look at this shot. How'd he hit that ball? A couple too many free looks, and McGee paid the price there. So we got 1-0. I'll flash up the poster they made for this match, guys, but keep in mind they did change the race. It is still winner take all, but they changed the race to 9 instead of 13. And quick shout out to all the tournament sponsors here in PEI. Some great companies there. I'll definitely be putting that poster up there often throughout the weekend. Even if you guys don't purchase something from those sponsors, if you could even just give them a shout out, send them a message, tell them you heard about them. Looks like a dry break there from Magoo. We'll keep an eye on that because the breaks are going to be very, very important in this tournament. 8 ball in the 9 foot, the break is very, very finicky and the most important shot by far. Gillis, yeah. Good shot there from
Table
McGee.
3, Angela Belden and Monica McKay.
See if he loosens up a little after missing a couple balls in the first rack. Not too tough of a layout here, but getting to the 6, this is the 2 ball on the bottom right. If you can't get to it now, then it's going to be a real problem later on. I'm not sure what he was trying there, but breaking out that ball was maybe not ideal. He's left Magoo a shot on this 9 ball. I don't think the 15 ball goes. He's going to think about banking this 10 and get one of the problems out of the way.
Table 7, Kelly Brimacone and Sharon Joyce plays. Brimacone and Joyce on 7.
Didn't really look at the bank, just safety all the way. Nothing wrong with that. Keep it tied up, make McGee work is the main thing here. These guys, I imagine we'll see a lot of firepower here, but we might see a few of these racks where they kind of chip the balls around safe. Nobody wants to sell out, so they're going to make it tough for their opponent.
Andrew Sprague, table 12, please. Brian Willis, table 12.
Oh, this is a good shot from Magoo. Well played. McGee put himself in even more trouble when he put the 5 where it is now. That makes life even more difficult. I tend to favor Magoo in this rack now, just with the way the balls lay. He's got a better chance to break out the 10 than McGee does to break out the 2. Even more so now that he pushed another ball of Magoo's over there. Well, the 11 ball got pushed to a weird spot as well. I think Magoo at some point can play the 9 off the 2 to open that pocket, but I don't know if right now is the best time. If he was really aggressive, he could do it now and break out the 15, but I feel like that would be a little bit brave. I don't like moving the 9 ball down there, though. I think he needed the 9 down here. He's going to cut at this ball on the side, but he's got to be careful if he starts potting balls again. This shot goes, but where does the 5 go when he plays this 3 ball combination? You have to hit this really hard to get the 5 out of there, or you have to play a little bit of rail first. The problem is it's so close to the rail already. So let's watch where the 5 ball goes. Oh, it split them nice. That's a good shot. And now he's got them open. He'd rather be left-handed for this shot. He's going to use the rest. And I think he has to play this with outside spin being right spin. I don't think you can play this inside and risk going 3 rails around the 11. It's just too dicey. Play it with outside, just miss the 8. No, That's misplayed. He's not on the 6 enough to pot it in the bottom left, and this is very thin on the 1 ball if he attempts the cut. And good eye there, James. He ended up putting that 5 in a really good spot when I originally thought he'd put it in a bad spot. Yeah, Ryan might have been telling you guys during the last match. He will be in Texas for the ACS State Championships, and Grant will be in Montreal for the NAPT. So we're going to have lots of pool, guys. I think there's only a couple days in between those events and the APA CPA border battle. And then maybe the weekend after that is Nanaimo. So we'll be live pretty much every week right up until late November. And we'll have the Barry Hui Memorial. Good shot from Magoo there. Solves the only problem on the first shot. That's usually what you want to do. And now he's got 2 balls over side pockets. Is definitely where you want the balls on these tables. Oh, he shanked that one quite bad. That's a little early match jitters maybe from both these gentlemen. They'll settle in, and I'm sure we'll start seeing some more firepower, some more runouts here. Still early days in this race to 9. That's correct. Not quite in Montreal, just outside Montreal.
Tucker and Kathy Brock. Tucker and Brock on 20, please.
Saint Jean sur Richelieu. Beautiful pool room there. Doolies as well. November 7th, the APA CPA border battle, guys. You're not going to want to miss that either. That's going to be a good one. James is rooting Magoo. Like I said, I would say there has to be more McGee fans just because it's kind of his hometown. But there's a fair share of Magoo fans here. So we see Wayne Dwyer kind of stalking over there. He's going to keep an eye on this shot because if that 10 ball moves as he's stroking this ball, it would be a foul. There's an impeding ball rule here, where if you stroke this and you're moving the 10, it actually does impede your stroke. And shooting this with the rest is very difficult as well. Yeah, I think it's much harder to see. I don't like it this way, to be honest. I liked it the other way, even though he's reaching a bit. This is very, very tough. And he has to float this in and maybe play the 8 in the side pocket next. He cheated it well, too. That was a really good shot. And not easy with the rest like that. That's very difficult. Shooting over a ball. That's well struck. Peter Chow, my challenge match is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. local time, so 4 p.m. Calgary time. He's taking a good long look at this. Needs to be sure. A big shot in our early match. Yeah. That is a good shot for early in the match. Well done there from McGee. One. So I'll flash up that poster of all the fantastic sponsors for this tournament. Like I mentioned before, even if you guys don't, make it to one of these fantastic companies or happen to purchase something from them, even if you could send them a message on social media, give them a call, just tell them you heard about them and thank them for supporting this great tournament. We are at the 2019 CCS Maritime 8-Ball Championships. I think they ended up with about $17,000 in added money. Cash and prizes, as you see on the poster there. So it's a real treat to have.
Table 9, Jimmy Ball Paul and Ben Johnson. Jimmy Paul, Ben Johnson, table 9.
Real treat to have one of the best refs in the country, Mr. Wayne Dwyer, racking these balls and reffing these shots. That's a pretty good break, but it looks dry. He peered it down the middle. In go the headphones for Magoo. This is not a bad look, other than the opening shot is very tough. Looks like he's calling the 6 ball thin in the side. He's going to lose the cue ball into the 9, so this is a bit of a hit and hope where the cue ball is going here. He got away with it. That's a good result. And I believe the 1 ball passes the 7 in this bottom right, so I don't see a problem here. I might see a few of these. When 8-ball breaks good on the 9-foot, it's wide open. A lot of times balls don't really touch, and tends to be fairly simple. He can see the 1 ball here. He'd rather be a little closer and a little straighter in, but there's no other option now. He could shoot the 4. He's glanced at it a handful of times, but it wouldn't do him much good. So he has to shoot the 1 here and get on the 7. Maybe use the 12 ball there for a stopper. He's playing the roll, and he played it well. That's not as easy as he made it look. Yeah, absolutely, Grant. I love the idea. I'll have to look into that. I'm sure we can make it work. Back and forth, but did he hit it hard enough? He did not. Now, if he shoots the 4 here, the cue ball is going towards the 9. This is a delicate shot, especially shooting over the 8-ball. I don't think he can see the 2 here. We do have a bit of a different angle, but it's frozen. So we just have this one angle for now. Until this match is over, we'll have to reset our PTZ camera so we can zoom in on these kind of shots. He did have enough. That's well struck, too. It's not easy to get that kind of action from 8 feet away. Welcome, Pete, John. John from Chicago, Pete from Australia. It's morning there. So shoot the 4. Just a touch of left siding, mostly top here. Missed the 9. And I like how he didn't try to do too much there. He didn't need to be straight in on the 3, and he didn't need to be closer, so he played it the safe way, and now he'll just go 1 rail nice and easy. Shoot the 8 in the bottom left. Just want to hit this with a hair of left spin inside English here, just to make sure it straightens out and doesn't head off towards the right too much. And this for the first run out of the match. Only 3 games in. I would expect these guys to stack a few together, and they're both fantastic players. And that's a very nice out from Magoo there, very tidy played. Shape on every ball was good. A few of our fantastic sponsors here as well. JB Cases, guys, the official case of Q Sports Live. And that holds true that it's the last case you'll ever need. Lifetime warranty, as you can see on there. So if you have lots of expensive cues, like most pool players, definitely worth investing a few $100s in one of those cases to protect your cues. And if you're in need of some cue repair, this is the guy to go to, Nick's Cue Innovation. He is based out of the Calgary and surrounding area, but you can ship him your cue. He will do the repairs and ship it back to you. He also makes shafts and some custom jump cues and such. Middle extension he just made for Stephen Holem. So it looks like Dwayne's got this rack good. And we'll see how Magoo hits this. I was actually warming up over the past couple of days, and head ball has seemed to be less consistent than second ball here. I hit a few second ball today that made me think I'll probably be hitting second ball tomorrow. This head ball is very good, other than the 8 ball has landed in a very weird spot. This is one of those deceiving racks where, I mean, high ball looks so good other than the 8. But it's nice to shoot the balls that are around the 8 and open up the 8, so we actually might see him take low ball here. Just because if he does manage to run them all out, the 8 will go in both those left corners. So he's still giving it a look here. Shot a stripe, so he'll use the 12 to break the 8 if he has to, and I don't think the 8 goes in the top left, so I'm pretty sure he needs to move it.
Percy Gauchi and Brian McWilliams. McWilliams and Gauchi on 16.
Oh, he used that ball to break it. That's a great shot, but he's getting the worst of it. It's just a little less controlled the way he went into it, but I don't blame him for giving it a swing there. It's kind of a free swing. He can still work it out later on. I don't know how much he can cheat this 12 ball, but he'd like to have that angle that he looked at on this 10 on the bottom right corner, so then he could break the 11-8 later on. He's going to need to cheat the pocket a little here. I don't think he got enough bounce, but that was really well struck. I think he's a little unlucky to not get there. Very good, James. Man, you really only see this kind of match on the east coast of Canada. The Magoo McGee Challenge. He's eyeing up the jump. I don't think he could masse and get the breakout. I think he should just go this way and shoot the 15 first. It's pretty natural with just top, I think, to get the angle that he needs. It's almost to the point where you try to get the other angle and it takes the 6 out of play, but then it's a little tougher to get speed behind the breakout. And he's overcut this ball anyway. Same issue for McGee, but with way less stuff in his way. But he will need to break the 8 eventually. I think he can do it from the 3 ball, possibly even right now. If not, it'll be after the 4. Or maybe shoot the 4 with just a stop, then So if he just plays a stop on the 4, he should have the right angle on the 3 to just spin into it. And when he breaks the 8, he'll have a shot on the 5 in the side. That would be my
Table
preferred
18,
plan. But
Jesse Richardson and Leon Sillaboy. Sillaboy and Richardson on 18, please.
it's always easier to say from up here. I couldn't really see what kind of angle he had on the 4, so. But he doesn't like this. And he has gained the angle. So now just a little bit of left spin. Oh, and he forgot to pot the ball. And that often happens. That really often happens as you are so focused on the breakout and the speed behind the breakout that you take your eye off the ball a little bit. I do it often. I think it's going to cost McGee big time, though. He's most likely going to be down 3-1 here. Not much work for Magoo to do. Just a little low right spin on this. He'll spin 2 rails, I believe, 2 rails. He could hold this off of 1 rail. He could even go forward 2 rails, actually. He's a little straighter than I first glanced at. I think I just like going back here. It just takes everything out of play. It's a low risk shot. This is good. Even if he's straight, he's okay. The 8's nice and close. He could play a stop shot there and still cut the 8 in. I don't think he should overthink this. He should just go over. He's going to go over and just take a look if he can cut the 8 in from a stop shot here. And I'm sure he can. I don't think he wants to risk doing this. I feel like trying to get short side on this ball is too risky. He should have looked to see if he can cut it in from around where the 10 ball is now. He could even slide it over just a little to his right. This can work if you hit it that good. That's really good. Even he's a little surprised by how good that was. Oh, that's a good finish there. To get short side on that ball is not easy. Tidy little finish there from Magoo. Another one of our fantastic Q Sports Live sponsors, advertisers, Jacoby guys. If you haven't checked out this carbon fiber, they're Jacoby Black. You can test hit one if you happen to be at one of the events that we're at. Ryan has one, I have one, Grant also has one. Happy to let you hit a few balls around with it. Be warned, once you hit with it, you are going to want to buy one. Nothing quite like it. So if you're interested in getting your hands on one of those, you can message us at Q Sports Live, or you can send us an email, qsportslive@gmail.com. And we'll make sure you get your hands on one. Steph, I knew you were quietly watching. But secretly I was hoping you weren't. But Steph does not have one yet. And yet being the key word. Very key. So 3-1, Magoo leading here in this race to 9. Oh, this cue ball is in unless it gets kicked or hits the horn, and it hit the horn. And it looks like it definitely dry. Nothing really moved in the middle. He mishit that. That's why the cue ball drew straight back.
And Dominic Alexander. 11 and Gallagher and Alexander 11.
Little safe shot from McGee here. He's not going to shoot the opener. He says, go ahead. I don't like where the 8 is. But I don't think Magoo has that in him. I'm pretty sure he'll go for this, especially with a lead. Although missing the ball is in worst case scenario. Don't mind the bit of a shake there, guys. It is where we have the tripod taped is on a shelf. And when people walk around the floor, it actually shakes the shelf a bit, which is surprising because it looks pretty sturdy, but it's moving a little bit.
Table 12, Jason Smith and Jeremy Bass. Bass and Smith on 12.
It's very possible to work this out. The only tough ball is the 8. He can bump the 13 right now, I believe, when he shoots this 10. Shoot the 10 in the bottom right and go full into the 13. And bump that to a better spot, maybe on the left-hand side of the table. Should have a shot on the 12. And he could break the 8, but he's thinking safe. McGee's got to be careful here because Magoo is very adept at running these tricky little tables. He tends to do it quite often from what I've seen. I haven't seen these gentlemen play a ton, but I've seen them both play a handful of times. And they both play very, very good. So, and good 8-ball players are very aggressive, very creative. Two things I teach quite a bit. It is good to be aggressive in 8-ball. I don't think he's going to really like this angle on the 6. He'll need to get that cue ball to the left rail, almost where he put his chalk there. He needs to get that cue ball to get on the 3. Low right English here. He missed the ball and he didn't get the required spin. Now, he may have had a 2-1 combination there at second glance. It looks like the 1 possibly passes the 3. Well, he's not happy with himself because he slopped that ball in a little bit. And now he doesn't have as much angle as he wanted. So he'll have a little more distance on the next shot than preferred. But it shouldn't pose too much of a problem. We'll just have to see what happens if he's breaking out the 8-ball right here. And I really don't like it because that cue ball can get stuck in there pretty easy. And you might not have a shot after, so he might need to go into this with some speed here. It could even be a bit of a hit and hope. Hard to control this one. Well, he let it fly. He let it fly, and look at this. The crowd goes wild. I feel like we'll most likely see Magoo just tie up a ball here. I think he can sort of maybe push the 15 onto the 13 and get the 13 right on top of those 2 balls he's looking at. If he can get the 13 almost frozen on the 2-1, that's really, really good considering the situation. I mean, McGee will take ball in hand and just break it out, but where does it go? What does it get shape on? You're leaving it up to chance a little bit, and then getting on the 10 ball is not a gimme. There's only that window between the 7-4 or the 4-8.
Table 15, Andrew Spring.
He's actually looking at the 10 ball to break that out, and I'm not sure I really like that. I think I would shoot the 15 to break it out. But this does send the cue ball more towards his work. Might be a little easier to get shape here, but where does the 2 push the 15? Well, he's okay, but this is still tricky. It is very tough to control where all the balls are going on those breakouts. When you're moving 3 or more balls, it's very tough. Make sure you guys out there with your volume on listening, if you can click that share button lots for us, guys. We much appreciate it, as do these fine players we'll have up here all weekend. Let's see if we can get this match at least over 200 on the Facebook there. We got about 170 with the Facebook and the YouTube. Let's see if we can boost that up a little bit here, guys. I'll share it as well. So Magoo in good shape here to take a 4-1 lead. The 1 ball will lead him into the 2 nice and easy, so don't see much stopping him here. And this can start to slip away pretty quick for McGee if he's not careful. 4-1 can turn into 5-1, 6-1 pretty quick, and then it's almost over. And he'll shoot this 1, then the 2. He could ideally shoot the 7, then the 1, 2, but I do like the 2 to the 7 isn't too bad between the 8, 15 window. So I think he should be okay here. And this is perfect. So he's straight in on this 1. All he needs is a stop shot. And even if he lands straight in on the 2, but I don't think he will, he'll have a little bit of angle. But if he does land straight in, he can shoot the 8 in one of the top corners, probably the top right. He has a nice angle here where he can shoot the 8 in the same pocket or in that bottom left if it goes, and I think it has a lot of room by that 13. A little inside English to get him there.
Table 17, Bob Nicholas and Riley McDonald. Nicholas and McDonald on 17.
And a 4-1 lead for Magoo. Like I said, this can slip away fairly quick if McGee isn't careful. Another one of our great cue sponsors here, guys, the Thumper Jump Break Cue. If you haven't tried this already, you absolutely need to hit some balls with this.
Table 4, Terry Gulliver and Walter Glenn.
Not only does
it
break fantastic, but this thing jumps as good as any cue I've ever had in my hands. And if you're looking at getting your hands on one of those, once again, message us or send us an email. A few different color choices there. Oh, that's extremely mishit, that break. You can see him put his shoulder into that one. He's made a ball, but he's probably not going to like it. I actually don't mind these kind of racks because they usually look really tough until you make one breakout, which you might do right here. And then all of a sudden they can look way easier after one little breakout. I don't think this is one of those situations, though. I think he's in a weird spot here. I don't know if he can really back cut this 12. He's looking to see if he can squeeze through to the 9, but I'm fairly certain he doesn't have that. Also, he opts for the safe, containing safe, mind you. I don't think he's got cover on the 3. We'll see if McGee can start to pull it together here. Oh, would you look at that? Mr. Zemp's got some nice info there. 2 additional colors coming out for the T3. That is exciting. Everybody likes the color choices, you know. So that's a pretty loose shot from McGee there. Missed the pocket by quite a bit. Magoo goes for the breakout, but really only made things worse. And he's put the cue ball pretty far away, but he could cut this 11 in and maybe draw into this stuff. Or does the 10 pass the 9 in the bottom left? I was waiting for Mr. Osborne there to have something witty for this Magoo McGee. He says, seriously, Magoo and McGee, winner plays McGaw. There's the 2 new colors, red and then the same purple as the shaft. I actually like the same purple as the shaft. That's a great idea. And everybody likes red. So I think Magoo got the better of this one with where that 15 ball ended up. He hit the horn, it went one rail and plugged the hole. And I think McGee needs that corner. It would be difficult to get short side and make the 4 and the 6 in the bottom right. Well, he did attempt to draw down here and get on the 1, but he clipped the 15 on the way, and now all he really has is a combination. He's struggling to see a little bit too. His left eye is a little swollen. He is right-handed though, so I assume he's right eye dominant as well. He plays pretty straight, so it shouldn't affect him too much, but it's definitely hard if you can't see fully out of both eyes to play this game. Very, very tough game if your eyesight is not perfect. Especially on a bigger table such as these 9-foots or say a 6x12 snooker table, your eyesight has to be exceptional. I shouldn't say it has to be exceptional, but it definitely helps. There's been a handful of pretty blind players, but Chad, I know, I'm at the wrong Doolies. I'm on the other side of the country. I was a little disappointed to hear that that tournament was this weekend because I loved that one. Last time I was out at Dooley's in Moose Jaw, I had a great time. You guys are great hosts, so I'll definitely be out for the next one as long as it doesn't overlap something else I happen to be doing. And trust me, I wouldn't trade coming to this tournament for any other tournament. We're in Charlottetown, PEI. It's beautiful out here. The people are amazing. There's nothing quite like a small town like this in Canada. Gisela, I'm definitely not going to do that. But I guess you're a little far away, so I'm going to guess you didn't make the trip. So he's going to go one rail, try to break this 8. No, he mishit it. That's strike 2 at breaking that 8. He's going to look to see if this banks. That's what he's looking at here. Does the 8 bank in the top right? And from my angle, it definitely does. So I don't think he'll try to break this out. He'll just roll it with a little right siding, try to get relatively straight on this bank. And that's not bad angle because now he can hit it hard. He'd rather be closer to it, obviously. He will call that top right, and he's going to hit this fairly hard, I believe. I can't see him rolling this. Let's see if he plays it with like just below center, kind of a stop shot and firm to get it to straighten out a bit off the rail. That way it won't slide. New cloth is a little slippery, so. Oh, James, did you want me to try to say that? Because I can totally do it. Tongue twisters don't get me too much. Oh, it straightened out too much. Okay, here we go. James tongue twister. McGee shot a soft shot, then Magoo shot a hard shot. McGee shot a jump shot, and Magoo shot a bank shot, but the shot that Magoo shot hit the ball that McGee shot, so it's McGee's shot. You're going to have to do better than that, James. Not stumping me on tongue twister. So great chance for Kevin McGee to start clawing back here. Big difference between 5-1 and 4-2. It's a massive difference. He can still claw back here. Rick, I believe all the draws are on challenge. Should be under the CCS Maritime Championships headline. And I believe they're also posted on PEI Billiards page, Facebook page, I believe. Ah, there you go. Charlotte Towner here in Winnipeg watching. Very good. Well, this will take you back. McGee's got a little bit more angle on this 5 than he wanted, but it's not going to matter too much. I think he can just draw this 2 rails. Low left spin off the top rail, off the left-hand side rail, and anywhere out near, even middle table is okay here. He might spin 3 rails going forward. And this is not ideal, but these pockets play fairly forgiving. I wouldn't go as far as saying they're big. They can be a little deceiving as far as size, but they are a little more forgiving than, let's say, a diamond table. So there's a good chance he cuts this ball in. And he hit it in the heart. That's a good shot. The crowd starts getting behind him a little, which they'll need to in order for him to come back here. I'm sure he's hoping the hometown crowd is behind him. Another one of our great sponsors, Jam Up Apparel, guys. Go check them out online, jamupapparel.com. All kinds of cool stuff on there, different designs, men's, ladies, kids' clothes. Also where you'll find your official Q Sports Live gear. And without a doubt, Canada's best player, Mr. John Mora, part of Team Jam Up and Team Q Sports Live. And I do say best player lightly because we all know Alex is possibly a little better, but I think Johnny spends more time in Canada now than Alex. Kevin, you can see the draw on Challenge. There should be a link for it on the PEI Billiards Facebook page as well. And yeah, I believe that's correct, Corey. I believe his real name is Clayton Dennis. I'll have to ask him where the Magoo came from. I'm not actually sure. This is a good break here from McGee. Only tough ball is the 5. I don't think it's that much of a problem because he can shoot the 6. And then he can shoot the 1 to break the 5 right away. And Mike Bain, my challenge match is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. PEI time, so 4 o'clock Calgary time, 5 o'clock Central time, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Missed the breakout, but he'll have another chance later with where the 6 ball is. He may even be able to cut the 2 in the side right now and go into it again. And I think that's his only shot. The cue ball naturally goes that way, so if he can pot the 2, he can get this 5 ball in the open. I don't think you risk just trying to float behind it. Not from this angle. Oh, he goes into it nice and cheats the ball in, so he's got an open look now. It's always nice when you have 3 balls over a pocket. It's like one of my favorite things in the world. Corey, yeah. No, I'm fairly certain Clayton Dennis is his real name, but McGee will have to watch the cue ball a little bit here. If he shoots the 4, it naturally goes towards the 15, 13, but I think with a little bit of inside English, he can spin it and miss those balls. And he's just waiting for the gentleman on the table beside him to take his shot so he can sneak in there and go to work. Looks like Ryan is up 3-2 in that match on our other table. Ah, there you go. There's your answer, Corey. His wife is there. So it's Clayton Stevens. So maybe you know, Giselle, where does the Magoo come from? Where did that originate? I'm sure we're all curious to hear. Good shot there, and he got a decent rub on that 15. I thought he could avoid it, but as it turns out, it was natural angle to go straight into it. And there's the post, or sorry, the link there that Stephanie commented. Challenge link for the draws, and there's a few different draws. I believe they have 7 or 8 different events going on here. So they have C, B, and A division singles, as well as a women's singles, a Scotch doubles, and a team event, a team 8-ball. So McGee's taking his time here, and I think he's doing the right thing in order to come back. You want to be sure on every shot. You don't want to take anything for granted. He knows this is a big game for his first break and run. Plays the roll shot, takes a little bit of a straighter in shot. He might be able to play the rail first here. It has to do with his eyes. Or plays like he sees well. Oh, he played the draw shot, which surprises me because that is a little harder to execute with the ball deep in the pocket like that, or near the pocket like that. And he got more draw and less of the rail than he wanted, so now a cue ball on the rail and a bit of a tough cut here. This is missable. Not for him. Good shot there, and a nice little break and run out to get himself right back in this match. Now it definitely can go either way. Another one of our great sponsors here at Q Sports Live, Mike Burton Home Team, Remax Realty Professionals. If you're looking at buying or selling or getting your hands on a mortgage in the Calgary or surrounding area. These are the guys to go to. Mike Burton, Micah Boo, Janet, and Brooke. Mike and Mike are also fantastic pool players in their own right. So check them out, guys. You can look them up on Facebook, Mike Burton Home Team, or you can send us a message. We'll give you all their contact info. Rob on the YouTube wants to know how's Ryan doing. I think he's up 3-2, but it looks like it's about to be 3-3. Race to 5 over there. We'll try pinning it, Steph. And no go. Won't let me pin it. Oh, it looks like the gentleman just missed the 8 ball to tie it 3-3 in Ryan's match there. This is a pretty good break from McGee. He's made a ball. Got a pretty good spread, but the 3-14 is in a weird spot, as well as the 7-10. 2 ball does go on the bottom right, so I tend to favor solids a little here. Just because that 14 ball is really tough to do anything good with. Hopefully you guys can, if you can't click on that link that Stephanie posted, then you can copy and paste it into your browser, and that should work for you. Terry Gulliver, I can see him. He's playing a few tables away. He's tied at 1. Race to 5 over there as well. I believe every division is a race to 5 other than the advanced, I believe, is a race to 6. Val, Michael, welcome. Welcome everyone else just tuning in. Look out, this cue ball is going to find the bottom of the hole, and this could be a big swing. Just when it looked like McGee might be able to tie this match up at 4, Magoo's going to get ball in hand to try to retake a 2-game lead. He's thinking about a safe here, so he'll combo in the 3 and draw the cue ball behind this 11 ball. It's close to his cue. He mishit it, so he left the 6 ball on, but that's not worst case scenario. McGee will still need to do something with this 7 that's right on this bottom right corner near the stripe, which is the 10 ball. What's the score on table 4? Yeah, I'm not quite sure, Colin. They don't have scorecards on every table, so they're using coins on most of the tables to mark the score. So I can't tell from here. The ladies playing over there. Looks like that ball came out the bottom of the pocket onto the floor. So Wayne's just going to go pick it up. I'm not sure how that happened. These pockets are pretty solid. Must be a little gap in there somewhere. A great chance again for Magoo here. He's going to try to nudge this ball out. And he does really well. And now I think he has the right angle to draw onto the 15, but he needs angle on the 15 to get on the 11. Can he go forward between the 7-11 window to get on the 11 next? I actually didn't see the 14 ball there. I forgot about the 14. Well, it's much easier this way. Shoot the 14 than the 11. Kevin Kelly playing. Yeah, good luck to him. And I'll say hello if I get a chance. I'll let him know you said hello, Kevin Taylor. Magoo just wants to make sure he gets the right angle on this 11. He doesn't want to be straight in, but he wants not too much angle. And it will be a little bit tricky to get on the 15 because the 7 is sort of in the way, as is the 2. And this is okay. He'll go forward. I believe he'll go forward. And just sit the cue ball right on the right-hand side rail. The other option is to just take a bigger angle and just clear the 2 on the left side. He didn't hit it hard enough. He came up well short there. Now we'll get to see if he does indeed jump, which it looks like he does. But he doesn't have his jump cue out. So he's got to go across the room to grab one. He'll jump at this. This could be a big point in the match. And a tough little jump. This cue ball can get off the table pretty easy here. He made good contact, but he failed to pot it. And I'm fairly certain we'll see McGee clear up here. McGee gets himself a little baby powder on his hand. Make sure that cue's sliding smooth. Magoo stealing. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Dempsey. This McGee, he shoots pretty straight. And he has home court advantage. Wayne Burba on the YouTube. Grant is working, indeed. He is busy, 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 so he couldn't make it. Good opening shot there from McGee. He'll shoot the 7 next. The 6 will lead him to the 1 ball. He'll need to be careful what kind of angle he plays here on the 6. I prefer being relatively straight in and just go forward through it to play the 1 in the opposite corner. Some people like angle here to play the 1 in the same corner. I don't like risking trying to get from the 7 to the 1. I just think it's unnecessary. You don't have to
Table 16.
do all of that. Just keep it simple.
Norm McFadden and Trevor Gallant. Gallant McFadden on 16, please.
He was going towards the 1 ball. This is a misplayed shot. Has he gotten away with it? I think he has. He can see the 1 here. That cue ball may get lost a little going up and down. It makes the pot more difficult. I don't think he can shoot the 6 in the side. Now he's kind of kicking himself for not playing that 7 ball better. He can't possibly be playing the 6 in the top left, can he? With 3 rail shape to get the cue ball close to where it is now. I think that would be unnecessary. I think the shot here is the 1. possibly up and down with the cue ball. Might be a two-way shot. 8-ball might cover the 15. Just like this. It hasn't got there. He's left a bank, or he's left a safe shot for Magoo here. We'll see if he plays the safe. I know he likes to play a little safe on this shot. A lot of players bank at this ball, but I don't think he's taking on the shot. I feel like he'll play a safe shot here. And it actually lays not bad. He can use the 8 to cover the 6. He can use the 15 to cover the 1 ball. So there's probably about a half ball hit on the 15 here. And soft enough to just bank the 15 out a little. And now he's sort of looking at getting the cue ball right onto the 8, but I don't know if that's completely necessary. The angle doesn't play well to do that either, so I think he's changing his mind here. This is the smarter way to play it. He's covered both balls. He looks happy with that shot. Yes, he should be. Even if McGee can see the left side of this one, it doesn't leave too much other than the bank that he's called. Can he see at least half of this ball? Is it going to get in the game? It very nearly is. He just about got a little lucky there, but he's gonna look back at that one as a missed opportunity. When he hit the 7, he misplayed shape on the 6. He got too close to it, and then he misplayed the 1 by overcutting it. But the mistake was the 7. When he hit the 7, he got a little adrenaline behind it. Last 5-3 for Magoo here. Another sponsor of Q Sports Live, Sure Shot Billiards Q site. Go check them out online, guys. SureShotBilliardsSite.com. You can save 10% with the CSL promo code CSLPool. All caps, guys. And if you haven't already, make sure you've gone to the Q Sports Live Facebook page. Click the like button. And if you could also go to our YouTube channel, click the subscribe button as well. Much appreciated, everyone. And for all our fans just tuning in now, we have the Magoo McGee Challenge presented by the Big Bahamian and Cowboy Jim. These gentlemen are playing for 1,000 Canadian dollars, winner take all. They have adjusted the race. They are now racing to 9 as opposed to 13 as it says on the poster there. We have Magoo Stevens from Cape Breton and Kevin McGee from Kensington, PEI. The Magoo McGee Challenge. Hope you guys are enjoying your Thursday evening. And watching some good pool here. We got Magoo. He's over the halfway mark. 5 games down. He needs 4 more to take home that $1,000 winner take all prize. I think he's going to switch it up to second ball here, and I like the plan. Head ball hasn't been spreading out or working that well. Although, that's a dry break. And a fairly good look here for McGee. Other than really the opening shot on a stripe, I'm not sure if he can shoot low ball because of where the 1 is. And this 3-7 near the left-hand side is a little funny too. Unless he could shoot the 3 right now and develop the 1. I can't tell what kind of angle he has on that 3, though. I have a score update with Ryan. He looks like he's leading 4-2. A race to 5 over there. And that's interesting for me to see McGee do that. He's going to make Magoo work. But I'm a little surprised he hasn't played with slight more aggression. Michael, yeah, sorry, Magoo won that last game, indeed. 5-3, he's leading now. Andrew, I'm playing a challenge match tomorrow night. I'm playing against Ryan Grant. We'll be playing a race to 15 8-ball. I'm spotting him 3 games on the wire. We'll be playing alternate break 8-ball, so a little different than this match. And the winner of that match will receive $1,500. The loser will receive $500, generously sponsored by Livingston Steel. Mr. Paul Livingston, I had the pleasure of meeting today. This afternoon we went to the Gentlemen's Club here and played a few games of snooker with him and a few other fellows. Beautiful Gentlemen's Club they have. This is not a good shot. This is not ideal. He broke out the 9, and now really all he's saying to Magoo here is, I don't think you can get the 1 ball out. And Magoo will say, watch me play a better safe. I see the plan with McGee there. He just wanted to get his 9 in the open, but I don't think it was as good as he could have played it. I feel like he maybe could have found a better shot than that. If he was trying to freeze on half the 2, it would have been not a bad shot, but even still,
Ryan Kendall, 14, please.
Magoo can play a better safe. So, and that's what happened there. He's put it on McGee to find a shot. I think McGee's going to try to get this cue ball right tight to the 6. Well, he tried to play an in off, and he actually overtook the pocket, so it's a really good shot from McGee there. That worked out quite well.
Table 5, Mike Horn and Dale Brimacone. Brimacone and Horn on 5.
I think the shot for Magoo here is actually to shoot this 3 and break this stuff out, and then use the 2 to get on the 1 and just try to run out here. Looks like he's got the same thoughts. He got a little unlucky there. I think he can see the 5, but not enough to cut it. He can see the 4, but it can only go rail first off the 12 in this bottom right. Tricky little shot, though. Definitely missable.
If you look at the draw sheet, it'll be a rough estimate on what time you'll start, what time you should be here tomorrow.
He played it off the 6.
You'll start when I say what
Very
time
good
it is,
shot.
but please be here by the time I put on the draw sheet.
Now, if he can just roll this 2 in the side, he should have a little angle on the 6. He might possibly be able to get on the 1 from the 6. And by get on the 1, I mean he has to move it unless he finds a way to shoot the 7 first. And even just rolling that ball in from there with the cue ball on the rail, that's a really tough shot. Oh, Kevin, I wish I could quote names of streets and such, but I really don't know where I'm going here. Even though it's a small town, I haven't figured it out yet. I know we're on Kent Street right now. That's about all I know. And I know the hotel is on Pownell because it's called that. It's called the Hotel on Pownell. But it was beautiful, and it's been there for over 125 years. Look at this. This is such a good shot from Magoo there. Really good shot. He gets a clap from his handful of supporters. Obviously, a few more McGee fans being it's his hometown, but Magoo came to play. This guy can hold a cue. One of the best on this side of the country. He's just looking at that inside-out angle on the 5 so that he can just draw over the left-hand side rail to get on the 7. And if he doesn't like that, he can go forward to get on the 7. And that sort of simplifies it.
Alan Yonker.
He hasn't got it, though. He's got dead straight in.
Harrison Yonker on 2, please.
Or as close to straight as it's ever been. So we'll see if he can draw all the way back to get the window between the 11-13. This is a very tough shot. Oh, and he tried to play in off that ball as well. So when it looked like it might be 6-3, it could be 5-4 here really quick, and that's a big difference again. Colin, yes, headphones are permitted. Somebody made the joke earlier that maybe Magoo is listening to me. But he's not. And there's actually a delay between the Facebook feed and the commentary, the live commentary, so even if he was listening to me, I don't think it would help. Yeah, it wasn't a pool hall, Kevin. It was just a gentleman's club. 2 snooker tables upstairs. Beautiful place. Really, really nice. Just, you don't see nothing like that in Calgary, where I'm from. All right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you could all do me a favor, click that share button, guys. Let's see if we can get this up over 300. We're now over 200. We have 165 on the Facebook, 45 on the YouTube. So we're up over 2. Let's see if we can get it over 3. And the rules are different, Colin, for each event. So, McGee's mishit that ball, but he's still okay. He can shoot this 9 on the bottom left. He can shape the 13 or the 10. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Just play this with low left. Should be on the 13, okay. Colin, the score with Terry over there, I can no longer see. I can just see a coin on 1. Unfortunately, my score updates end there. But I will let you know when that match concludes. I can let you know who won, assuming it's done before this match. But I would expect McGee to get out here and get this to 5-4. Still anybody's match for the taking. Ryan did, in fact, win his match, 5-2. Has he hit this hard enough? If he wanted to be on the 13, he did, but I think he wanted to be on the 12 first. This is still extremely routine. Just roll the 13 in. Don't leave the cue ball on the rail, so that when you shoot the 12, you draw back to get on the 10. Straight on the 10, you play a stop shot, shoot the 8 on the left side. You can play a stop shot here if he's straight enough. That keeps the cue ball off the rail. You needed to follow, and that's a good shot. And now just draw back to the right side rail. Anywhere close to straight in is good. I mean, even a little angle isn't a big deal. The 8's right in the middle of the table. It goes in all 6 pockets. But ideally, he's straight in on this next ball. Yeah, he's shaking his head. He hasn't quite figured out this cue ball yet. It's dancing a little more than what it normally would on new cloth. It's biting the spin quite a bit. So it takes a little getting used to. Play the 8 in the... I think he should have played shape to play the 8 in the right-hand side. I think that was a big mistake. Trying to roll that ball is just more risk than he needed to take. See if Magoo can punish him here. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Magoo, I'm sick of all this powder on the table, too. McGee's been using powder. It kind of drives me nuts, all that powder. The balls will skid a little bit with that powder. Looks like we got Ryan joining us after his match win there.
Yeah, should have been 5-0, but got to get used to that 9-foot table.
Yeah, well, you both looked like trying to get used to the 9-foot. Yeah,
it was grabbing and not used to the way that plays. That's weird cloth on there.
I like how Magoo played this shot. He didn't do more than he needed to. He's fine with the distance. Just needs to pot this ball. The 8 will go everywhere. AF is making you dizzy? What's AF?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what you mean, Patrick.
Some new drug.
Look out. He's getting real tight to this 8. This is a very, very tough shot. Very tough to see the angle that you need to cut the ball when you're that close to the ball. Oh, yeah. Use it on a bowling lane.
Nice shot.
Oh, very nice.
Get out of there.
But
Get
he's followed it in.
Get out of there. That's when you're supposed to rattle it.
That's a little unfortunate, actually, because he did hit that ball really good.
Autofocus on Facebook.
Seems... I haven't seen it autofocus once.
No.
Oh, yeah, it might just be what it's set at. Checking your settings. If you guys are curious how to advertise with Q Sports Live, send us a message. Or shoot us an email if you don't have Facebook. And we'll give you all the info on events and rates for advertising packages.
That's qsportslive@gmail.com for anybody that needs to know the email.
Now it looks like these gentlemen are just taking a quick 5-minute break, so I think I'm going to do the same. Give up our tournament sponsors there for you guys. So we will be right back playing in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll switch to the other table.
Yeah, stay tuned in, guys, and we'll switch to the other one. You can watch a little bit of... Looks like we got Mike, and I'd have to find out the other gentleman's name there.
Mike's at the table.
I'll let Ryan handle that while I run to the washroom.
Table 13, Ryan F. and Shane Cox.
I got to play, guys, so we're going to be silent for about 5 minutes till they come back. I just got called, so.
Okay, there's no more standard.
All right, guys, I'm back. So I'll switch you guys back over to the McGee feature match here. Looks like we have Magoo at the table here.
Is Brian White still in the house? Brian White?
Gonna try to clean up stripes. They're all in a good spot here. Looking at retaking this 2-game lead he previously had. The other voice there was Ryan Epp for a moment, but he has to play his second match in the tournament. So we'll hear him back in on the commentary a little later on tonight, I would imagine, as it's only about 8:30 here in Charlottetown. Oh, Kevin Taylor, your old buddy Paul Pache. He actually lived in Calgary for a couple of years, spent some time there. So we all know him quite well. Love these floors. Yeah, the flooring in here is super nice. This real hardwood. You don't see this in too many pool rooms. Expensive stuff. Good shot by Magoo, but he doesn't want this ball to go in. And I'm sure McGee was sort of praying that ball would go in. We're going to see Magoo get the rest here. And the only reason is when he reaches for this ball, he doesn't want to move the 6 and the 7 with his sweater. That would be a foul if he moved 2 balls. So he's going to get the rest. Shoot this with a little bit of right siding. I don't think he needs to play rail first. I think he can just hit this half ball with right siding. Doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball other than be able to see the 9. It's hanging in the side pocket. And nothing to do with the cue ball here. Stop shot, roll shot. Eat your heart out. I like the stop. Take away the risk of the roll. And this 8 ball to retake the 2-game lead, and he'll be 3 games away from the finish line here. If you're just tuning in, guys, we're at the 2019 CCS Maritime 8-Ball Championships at Dooley's in Charlottetown, PEI. Beautiful, beautiful city, guys. If you ever get a chance, definitely make your way out here. Come check out the Dooley's and let them know you heard about them through Q Sports Live. Goes a long way for us, you guys. Let these pool rooms know you heard about them from Q Sports Live. Mr. Wayne Dwyer's got these balls racked up. Magoo's going to go back to the second ball, it looks like. The spread was good last time. He mishit that a little, but he's made a ball. Cue ball's tracking. Not a good spread, a little one-sided, and that's because he hit the ball a little thick. If you hit too much of that head, or too much of that second ball rather, it will tend to be a one-sided table like this. When you guys see all the balls go to one side in second ball, it's usually a mishit. He called safe there and potted the 1. So McGee will return the safe. I think at this point we might just see Magoo go for this. If he could shoot the 9 and roll into the 6, he would have the right angle on the 15 to possibly develop the 10. But he doesn't necessarily need to. The 11-12 lay nice to develop the 10 later on. He took a swing at it. He's tied up the balls more. This is a good angle for McGee. Shoot the 15, draw into the 10, break the 10 and the 12. The nice thing is the 9 lays so easy here where he should be able to see it from pretty much everywhere. This is a big shot in this match at 6-4. What happens here will be dependent on the outcome. He got what appears to be a window between the 2 and the 7 to see the 9, so I was fairly correct when I said he should be able to see the 9 from just about everywhere. If he was an inch or two to the right, he would have been playing a 13-9 combination. This can be tricky with the ball deep in the pocket, though. A little tougher to control shape. That's misplayed. This cue ball is going to get lost into the 5 here. On second thought, he can play this in the corner. He's actually okay. He doesn't have to play this in the side. He can play this in the corner, bottom left, and sort of stun the cue ball over just a little to shoot the 13 ball next. Has to be careful on this shot. And that's well struck. He rolled it nicely. Stop shot here. And he can roll the 12 and play the 8 on the right-hand side. Or he can try to leave angle on the 12 so he can draw and play the 8 in the same corner, but I like just stopping this 13, roll in the 12, play the 8 in the right-hand side. Well, he does have that little bit of angle now where he might be able to draw back, play the 8 in the same pocket. But he's not very happy with that. He'd rather just be straight in and roll it in, I can guarantee you that. Some things can go wrong here when you play this ball. If you try to cheat it a little too much, you can miss the pot. If you don't cheat it enough, you can end up with no shot on the 8. I like what he's looking at here. Just play underneath it, play the 8 in the top left or the top right. I like it in the top left. I can go all the way to this bottom rail and out a few inches. He didn't like that, so he's going to play the draw. Stun over a little draw. Yeah, he was okay there. It wasn't as tough as what I had thought originally. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, Kevin. Much appreciated. Nice 8 ball there to pull it back within 1 game again. I had a feeling these guys would have a close one. I knew neither one of them would be blowing out the other. Another one of our local sponsors here, Peter Chow with Graham Realty Incorporated. He's got his phone number up on there. You can shoot him an email, petergchow@telus.net. He says, stroke it, don't poke it. Peter's actually a pretty steady pool player himself. Got Mr. Dwyer's got these balls racked up nice.
If you win your first match tonight, you're playing again, all right?
Coop says the ladies are playing again tonight. One more match. Nice head ball break there from McGee. Makes a ball on the side, makes a ball in the corner. He's got a good look here. Other than the 3-4, I don't think that combination is at all wired, so possibly needs to break those out. I don't see shooting stripes here being an option. I don't really think he has that good of an opening shot, excuse me. He can shoot this 5 in the side as the opener, or he can shoot the 1. A 6 ball will break the 3-4, but he'll have to watch that the 3 doesn't just tie up on the 11 when he breaks those out. Yeah, Dempsey, keep dreaming, buddy. Keep dreaming. I mean, you can always dream. It's important to have lofty goals, you know, like getting 5 to 21. Kyle wants to know, where's Rod? Which Rod? There's a lot of rods out there nowadays, Kyle. I know a handful of good rod pool players. I'm not sure what he's eyeing up here. He's maybe looking at... He's looking at playing a safe shot after this ball. From my angle, this 3-4 is not a makeable combination. But it is a little bit tricky to tell from here. It might just slip in this left side of the pocket. Yeah, he had plans on safe, but he mishit it, and he made the 3-4 way worse. And he opened the 10. Everything went wrong there. Let's see what Magoo can do if he plays the roll shot on the 11. He can play the 14 in the top left. That opens everything. The 10 leads him to the 15 in the opposite corner, so that's not a problem. Oh, the one that commentates, he's actually in Winnipeg, so he didn't make it out for this trip. He mostly does the local Manitoba tournaments. Yeah, he plays the stun follow nicely. He can shoot this 14. It's got a lot of room. And he has the choice to play sort of a stun follow or a follow. Just send the cue ball into the 13. That'll leave him on the 12. Or possible the 13. He would rather shoot the 13 next, as the angle on the 12 might be a little more than he would like.
Amber Thorpe and Danielle White, table 18.
As you can
White
see here,
and Thorpe on 18.
shooting the 12, the cue ball sort of goes the wrong way. So he wants to shoot this 13 in the side first, but he'll need to hit it with a little bit more pace than he would like. Makes the pot a little tougher. And now he's got the same problem. The angle on the 12 is the wrong angle. Can he shoot the 10 and use the 6 to hold the cue ball for the 15? That's the question here. Or can he sort of pinch this 12 and draw the cue ball to get straight on the 10? I like rolling the 10, using the 6 here to stop the cue ball. But he knows better than I do at this point. He's going to go forward around 2 rails into the 10 shape on the 15. What a shot. And he likes it too. He gave a little chalk tap there in approval. Should be able to play the 10 in the right-hand side next, fairly easy. Could play it in the corner if he doesn't like the side. I don't mind the side here. Just roll it. Just taking that extra second. Do a lap. I like it. Go look at the 8. Just to be sure, this is what you want to do if you're not sure. Do that lap. Refocus. corner may have been the better option there. The side was missable. I mean, the corner was missable too, but anytime you're rolling the ball at that pace, it really takes away the true line. It's much harder to keep a very true line. McGee still has an issue here, but I think he'll be able to solve it. I actually think the shot here is to play the 6 and get the cue ball right here, right where he's looking now, and then play the safe. The reason he doesn't want to do that is because Magoo left the 10 ball right over the side. So your safe has to be good in order to not leave the easy one rail kick. The other option is to shoot the 6 with extreme right hand spin and slow enough that it'll grab and actually break out the 3. It is possible, I think, but it requires a maximum right hand spin. Let's see what he does. He does need to pick a good shot here. It's a very important game at 6-5. Good chance for McGee to tie up the match. That'll change the dynamics a little because Magoo has sort of always had a lead here. So if he's suddenly tied or possibly trailing the rack after, that'll change the mindset. At one point it looked like he might just run away with it, but McGee's done well to claw back here and keep it close. James, yeah, I thought about the zigzag for the breakout. I just don't think it plays well on this table. The speed would have to be exceptional in order for the rail to grab properly for that to work. It would be really easy to get below the 4 playing that shot. I think if I was if I was contemplating the zigzag for the breakout, I might just zigzag for shape on the 3. Knock the 6 in, play safe on the 4 ball. Yeah, that's the way. And the 8 does kind of block the one rail kick. This does take away the natural one rail. I think he can still make it though. And Magoo kicks the ball well. He's reaching for a jump cue, but I don't know if jumping and cutting this ball in is the best option. I think the side pocket play is so big for the kick shot that if you just hit the ball, you got a really good chance to make it. He likes to jump. I don't mind it as long as you know you're going to be accurate on the cut shot. It is, technically it's less of a guess, the jump. The kick shot is a little bit more of an educated guess because this is not Magoo's home pool room. So there's no way he could know exactly what the rail is gonna do. That's a really good pot from Magoo, and he's got a shot on this 8. Few different options here. He can cut this in the side or he can bank this in the side. I tend to like the cut, and I think he might even be able to play a bit of a two-way cue ball with getting that cue ball right close to the 3. Or sort of parallel with the 3 as far as up and down. Let's see how he played a bit of a two-way there. That's a well-played shot. He knew with a stop shot he wasn't going to leave McGee an easy shot here. I'm surprised I haven't mixed up those names more often. I've done quite well. Yeah, so McGee isn't a huge fan of this. He's looking at maybe trying to find an extension for his cue so he can reach further. But he's just going to use the rest. So what he's doing here is hitting half of the 3 and trying to get behind the 6 ball. But I mean, with the way Magoo jumps, even if McGee gets this safe behind the 6, he needs to get it tight to the 6 to take away the jump. I fully believe he'll cover the 8 using the 6, just a matter of if he leaves the jump. And he has left the jump. And it's only about half of the 6. No, it is about full ball over the 6, very close. So realistically, another free shot here, a shot he maybe shouldn't have had. People tend to make these. He's going to cut it in the top right. He's just got to watch the cue ball. I like what he did there to move the chalk. Move the chalk, because if somehow one of these balls hits the chalk, it would be a foul. Oftentimes these balls are jumping a couple times. Oh, he overcut it, and that's such a well-struck shot. He did well just to hit the right side of it. He did well there. Okay, I think we're going to see a tie game here. We're going to have a race to 3 for $1,000 winner take all. McGee just wants to make sure this cue ball's on the rail. Shooting this with the rest, a little bit tougher. I like the reach with the stretch, to be honest, but that's kind of a preference thing. I do reach better than probably the average player just because I'm doing it a lot. Vertically challenged, as they say. So we just tipped over the 2-hour mark. Looks like we got 250 live viewers. Click that share button for me at least one more time, guys. Let's see if we can get the Facebook over 200. We're at 192. 194, real close to that 200 mark. Let's see if we can boost that up a little bit, guys. Click that share button, much appreciated. And he takes his time well, dials that ball in. We got a tie game, folks. Race to 3 for all the marbles now. $1,000 winner take all. Is Rod playing in this tournament? I don't think there's a Rod in this tournament.
No.
But I'm not sure which Rod you're referring to.
At the moment.
Nick's Q Innovation, guys. Go check him out on Facebook. He's got a Facebook page on there. All kinds of cool stuff. Does Q repairs. He builds shafts and jump cues, custom extensions, all kinds of cool stuff. He sells chalk and lots of different pool accessories, gloves and such. Make sure you tell Nick Q Sports Live sent ya. Oh, Bevy Ashton tuning in. TJ Gulliver says hello, Bevy, if you're listening. So a tie match. McGee's done well to claw back here. Oh, he nearly put that cue ball straight in the side. Let's see if he makes a ball. He does. And a pretty decent look at low ball here. Opening shot's a little bit tough, the 4-1 combination, but I don't think it's missable. And the 7 passes the 3, so he doesn't need to move the 3 first in order to play the 7. I think this is fairly routine out. Might see him take his first lead of the match here. Let's see if we can pattern it out. 4-1 combination to open. And then I actually like coming down here and shooting the 7 next, I think. Now there's a better way here. 4-1 combo, then the 4, then the 6, then the 7-3. The 3 leads you to the 2 in the side. The 5 leads you to the 8 ball in the opposite side. Pretty easy, so. He's actually looking at stripes, and these are very runnable too. 14 goes nice and easy in the side. All the balls have a home. So if I was to run stripes, I think I shoot the 15, then the 11, 14, 12, 9, 13 would be maybe the stripes option here. See which way he goes. It'll definitely be the 11 ball next. And I think you have to shoot the 14 after the 11, so there really is only one good pattern here. Just need to make sure he lands relatively straight on the 14 so he can draw back to get straight on the 12. What's up, Dan? Robert? Shot clock, please. This is a big match. I don't blame these guys for taking a little longer each shot. You got to be sure in these situations. So he did get the wrong angle on this 14. Drawing back to get straight on the 12 is a little tougher now. He may need to use plan B here, possibly play the 13 next, then the 9, then the 12. See if he can shoot the 14, the side slide over for the 13. That's what he's looking at now. Then he can use a little angle on the 9 to get for the 12 on the left side. Let's see what he does here. He's going to hit low on the cue ball. I know that much. Yeah, I like that. Mike, we use that one often. Think long, think wrong. I do it all the time. The second I overthink it, I'm toast. Got to play with. Usually my gut instinct is best. So he could shoot the 9 now if he likes it. Then he can play the 12 next to get on the 13. The 13 to the 8 would be a little more difficult that way, but shouldn't pose too much of a problem. He's got quite a bit of angle here. These pockets cheat quite easy.
Me and Dad in the morning.
Yeah, I love when people call the clock too. I wish people would call the clock on me more often. Put themselves on the clock and then they're in big trouble. I think most pools should be played with a shot clock. I think it's easier viewing if the game is played faster. Sometimes when the game is played too slow, it does tend to lose the interest of the spectators. They'll start watching something else if you don't keep them interested. But McGee is definitely one to be sure on every ball. He definitely takes his time, which is good. I think trying to create some sort of rhythm is also good. Magoo's starting to look a little discouraged here. This may be the first time in the match he'll be trailing. If McGee can acquire shape on this 8-ball on the side, which I think is routine to just go 2 rails around the 6. He struck it well and it stopped just in time. If that ball kept rolling another half a foot, he was going to have a much tougher shot than this one. Kevin McGee with the first lead of the match at 7-6. This is the Magoo McGee Challenge presented by the Big Bahamian and Cowboy Jim. We have Magoo Stevens from Cape Breton, and we have Kevin McGee from PEI. They're racing to 9 guys. They did change the race. It says 13 on this poster here, but they are in fact racing to 9. And this is part of the 2019 CCS Maritime 8-Ball Championships. One of 2 challenge matches, possibly 3 challenge matches. We will have another challenge match tomorrow night, courtesy of myself and Mr. Ryan Grant, generously sponsored by Livingston Steel. That will be played tomorrow night at 7 o'clock local time, 6 o'clock Eastern. And if you're back in Calgary, that'll be 4 o'clock Mountain Time tomorrow, the beginning of that match. Don't mind the shake on the camera there, guys. It's sometimes somebody jumps off one of these chairs near the shelf, it'll actually shake the floor, which shakes the shelf, which shakes the tripod. Hopefully it doesn't happen too much this weekend. We got arguably the best referee in Canada here, Mr. Wayne Dwyer. Racking the balls up and refereeing these matches. Yeah, that's funny, Grant. You could cut it in time, and I could cut it in half, and I would still have time. What about BST? I'm not sure, Eric.
Angie Arthur. Arthur and Brock on 4, please.
And good one, Jerry. Very good one. Look at this break. I think Mr. Dwyer got a good rack there. Look at the spread there. Magoo doesn't like it. And I can't say I blame him. He's let this one slip away a little bit. And McGee could be on the hill here. There's a chance Magoo doesn't shoot again. McGee comes up with one more break like this one. If he can get out here and come with one more break like that, the match is over. Low ball is really routine here. I'm surprised he hasn't shot already. He's shaking his head like he doesn't like it, but I don't see how you couldn't like this. Shoot the 1 or the 3.
Table 11, Angela Belden and Kelly Vermicone. And that's the last match of the night, folks.
The 4 ball leads him to the 6 in the side so easy, and the 6 leads him to the 7 in the opposite side. There's really not much work to be done here. He could play the 5-2 combination if he wants first. So many options here. Maybe too many options. Maybe that's why he was shaking his head. Tough to make a decision when there's too many options. All right, we got a real treat here, guys. Mr. Sprague is going to sit in.
Wow,
some
real
commentary.
treat.
This is a treat. You're
Oh,
a
my
radio
goodness.
celebrity.
Well, we were both radio celebrities yesterday, weren't we?
We were.
Yeah.
That was quite the treat for me.
Well, hey, listen, you said it right, and Ryan said it right. One of the best things you can do for pool is make it mainstream media, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we got a good little match going on here right now.
McGee's fought hard. This has been fun to watch.
That's been tough for him. He had a bad spill the night before last, and slight concussion, I think, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
He forgot his name when he came in earlier on. Yeah. Thought he was Magoo for a couple of minutes. It's easy to get mixed up, right?
It is.
McGee, you know.
This has been one of the tougher commentary jobs.
I know.
I've done well not to mix it up more than maybe twice.
So I was playing a match while these guys were going. How has it been going so far?
It's been great. How'd you do in your match?
I lost.
Which is
not
not hard to do with everything you got going on.
Well, you know, it was an early start to the day. We've been pretty busy getting the tournament together, and we had a couple of draws to do today. And as you know, the last-minute folks that come in the door,
of course,
trying to get that all straightened out was
it's a lot of
bit
work.
of a schmozzle, but everything seems to be coming together. We got a great crowd here tonight.
This is awesome.
We're 3 deep around the table. This is great.
Yeah, there's got to be 50 people live watching this. It's really nice to see.
Excellent. Well, we got 2 quality players. These are 2 of the best players of the Maritimes. There's no doubt about it. Magoo's got multiple titles in Nova Scotia. He's played well at Canadians when he's represented. And, well, McGee's probably the most decorated player on Prince Edward Island. He won the 2015 Canadian Amateur in St. John in 9-ball. And he's probably the most decorated player on Prince Edward Island right now.
Oh, he mishit that ball extremely. I think he can still see the 6 here, but he's losing the cue ball a bit.
Yeah.
Jerry Magoo is a nickname. That's not his real name.
That's right. It's Clayton Dennis is his real name, I think.
Clayton Stevens.
Well, see, this is the thing, right?
His wife
he
was
goes
on
by,
here.
Okay, so Clayton Stevens,
Yeah.
great. All right,
Yeah.
you never really know because it can change up. My apologies, Giselle.
But apparently the Magoo does have something to do with his eyesight, Giselle says.
Okay.
She's not quite sure, but I thought with how good he plays, he's got perfect eyesight.
You know what? He plays really, really well. He beat Martin Dag a couple of years ago in the Jack Williston Memorial Tournament as part of the Eastern Canadian 9-ball.
I do recall that.
Played really well. And, or no, maybe actually that might have been at the East Coast Canadian 9-ball in Halifax that he beat Dag. Giselle will probably straighten me out on that really quick. But that's a quality win for a player from the Maritimes who,
So
doesn't see that quality of player all that often down here.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say you probably know Kieran Dutton.
Yeah.
Viewers went down when you joined.
Thanks, Kieran.
Get all your rib shots in now, guys.
Yeah, that's good. It's good.
Somebody else for them to pick on other than me, right?
That's right. So I should tell you, the guy that sponsored the Magoo McGee Challenge, we call him the Big Bahamian. He's a very good friend of mine, Patrick, and he's Bahamian. And he owns a bar in a place called Abaco, and Abaco was one of the places that got hit hardest by the hurricane. And his loss was devastating. His bar was pretty well wiped out. The town that supplies his bar was pretty well wiped out. And McGee's a quality guy, and I'll tell you why. He handed us $500 for this match about 2 weeks before the hurricane happened. And when it did, McGee said, "There's only one thing we can do. We have to give the $500 back."
Yeah.
And so we wrote him a check from our league back to Patrick for the money that he gave us. And he had it for a while. He went down south. He went down south for 2 weeks. I can't imagine what it was like for those 2 weeks that he was down there. And came back and went over to his place to watch a little football one Sunday. And he looked me in the eye and he said, "I'm not giving you $500 back. That was for pool.
Yeah.
What happened, and I'm never going to cash that check. So you might as well just pretend like
Really?
none of this conversation."
Sounds like a great guy.
Well, he's he's a dear friend of mine, and he's gone through a real rough time, but he loves the game of pool. And Kevin's a good friend of his as well.
Okay.
And I got a lot of respect for him after what he's gone through. You know.
Well, this is a real treat for him. I hope he's watching.
Yeah,
It's been a great match.
He's right over there in the cable knit sweater
Oh,
on the post.
He's got the best seat in the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
McGee on the hill, guys.
Holy smokes.
Who would have thunk it?
Well, I thunk it. I know what a good player McGee is.
Only about 95% of the room, right?
Is that right? This is a fairly even match between these two guys. And showing it so far.
Here's some of the great tournament sponsors here that Andrew worked very hard to gather.
Oh, you know, in a town like Charlottetown, all you have to do is ask your friends with money to sponsor the tournament. Now, we've been really lucky here with the amount of buy-in we've got from the community to support pool. They see what's happening here. We invite them down to come in and see what's going on in the room. And, I mean, when they see a room like this, a full room, everybody playing, a big crowd gathered around a big match like this, they want to support it. And we've been really lucky. So our sponsors have been just awesome.
And go check them out, guys. If you don't purchase something from them, you can always send them a message on social media. Just tell them you heard about them. Thank them for their involvement in the tournament. Without sponsors like these, pool will never get anywhere. So we appreciate all your hard work, too.
Hey, thanks. Love the game. Happy to do it. All right, McGee on the hill.
Breaking for
Let's
the match.
do some play-by-play.
Yeah.
All right.
Breaking for the win here. And I don't think Magoo's got out of his chair for 2 racks, so he's going to get out of his chair here, though.
Yes, he is. He's got a table.
And he nearly flew out of his chair. He couldn't wait to get there. So I think both balls look fairly runnable here, but I would tend to favor maybe low ball just with the opening shot being a little easier.
Yep.
Opening shot on a stripe is fairly difficult here. You can cut the 6 ball in, just has to watch the cue ball going in the right-hand side. He did well to avoid it. Assuming the 1 ball slips through the window there. He's shooting it pretty quick. And he doesn't like it. I don't blame him. He's looking for another option, but there definitely isn't one.
Played a nice shot there.
Well, and you can see him loosening up a bit, which is what you need to do when you're trailing like this. Just have to loosen it up a little. Start swinging at these balls and see what happens. I mean, it's only 3 games. It's not like a massive comeback is needed, but
he's got to string a few balls together here.
He definitely needs to get out here. If he doesn't get out here, I would say the match is all but over. Let the balls lay nice. You will have to move the 7 in order to shoot the 3. I think we'll see him do that the next shot after this 4 ball.
There it is.
So he could shoot the 7 and then the 2, then the 3, 5, 8. I think he'll get out here. Oh, he's a little further away. He's shooting the 5 first in the side here, which is a good plan. As long as he's straight, all he needs to do is play a stop shot. I actually prefer this way, and that way getting on the 8's a lot easier than using the 5 to get on the 8 too. But
plays a stop here, plays a stop on the 2, plays a stop on the 3, and bingo.
Yeah, it's just stop, 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 which is nice in 8 ball. I've actually heard 8 ball referred to as stop shot.
Especially on tables this size when there's so little traffic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did well there. That's confident stroke. And he's trying to fire himself up, which is really nice to see. He needs to. He needs to get a little fire going here. definitely capable of just running the next 2 racks if he gets
Absolutely.
a good break. So
No question. He just wants to keep the table right now.
he knows he can do it. And that's
That's a tough miss.
going to be the
McGee's
last
got
mistake.
wide open spaces.
Little backdoor out for the win. This is ideal if you're McGee. Very little pressure for the finish.
Yeah, and you're going to see Kevin McGee take his good, sweet time finishing out this table. He'll have it figured out before he gets over the first ball. And
no
he'll
different
will
than
it.
the other 8 racks.
Yeah.
He'll be sure on every ball, which is nice
No
to
question.
see.
Yep. He's meticulous in his approach. There's no question.
These guys kind of have contrasting styles. Magoo is a much faster player, much looser.
Yep. And McGee doesn't do anything until he's absolutely sure. I mean, you saw it in the finals of the team event last
Exactly,
year
yeah.
in the A here. If you go back to the video of the Hill match against Cape Fear and see how long he took to figure out how that table was going to go, and then making that combo down the rail.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that went, everybody knew it was game over.
Well, of course.
He willed himself to victory, and
That was fun to watch. That was one of
this year.
the more fun finishes of the year that I
yeah.
recall.
And it didn't hurt that there was a great big crowd of people around watching it. You could feel
Absolutely.
everybody holding their breath. When he made that combo, there was a little bit of a letting of air.
Sigh
you
of
know?
relief.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was a big cheer when he put the final ball in, that's for sure.
Well, it was. I mentioned this last year too. It was really nice to see the hometown team win. It's something I often cheer for because I know everyone in the room wants them to win too.
It was big. It was big for us because it was the first time a team for PEI had won the Maritime Championships, we were able to throw a team together that gelled and worked really well, and a couple of missed shots here, and we ended up with the victory. I say we. I really shouldn't say we because I didn't play on the team, but I did assemble the team.
Yeah.
I was the general manager
And
of
you
the
were
team.
the coach and the cheerleader,
well,
right?
I was, yeah. You got to pick your spots to cheerlead, though. You don't want to throw a guy off in the middle of the shot,
guess. Well, he's only 1 ball in, and it's been a few minutes, but I really think he shoots the 11 now. I don't think he shoots the 13 now.
Get up on the other side of the 13 ball with the 10 after he making the 11.
Exactly, and then I think the only tough ball is maybe the 9, but the 13 should lead him to that fairly easy.
Yep.
I can't see him being denied here.
He would have been. He would have liked to have been a little farther up on the 10 on that shot. That's for sure. But he can still make his way back to the 13, even off the 12.
Absolutely. He may try it now, even just with a hair of inside English. A little left spin off the top rail and spin over for the 13 next, but
that's true.
Doesn't need to.
That's a very good shot.
And this is a perfect angle, yeah. He's just deciding if he wants to shoot the 14 next or if he wants to shoot the 13 next. He could potentially shoot the 14 now, but...
And go down off the rail and back.
Or shoot it to the corner.
I like playing the percentages here. And
yeah, I like the 12.
Taking that 12 over for the 13, quick stop on the 9. Even if you get down below the 9 a little bit.
Yeah, he's just contemplating the 9 to the 14. Could be a little tricky, but I don't think it's that tough. I think you can get on the 14 from just about any angle on the 9.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, he's not going to take that shot till he's absolutely sure.
Which is nice to see. I shoot a lot of balls when I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But the longer I think about it, the less chance I have. I'm the polar opposite of McGee.
He got a good angle on the 14 to pull back for the 13 now if he wants to. He's pretty straight in on it.
I definitely like shooting the 14 first now. and then all the work is done. If you get straight on the 13, it's over.
Just a little bit of a drawback for the 13, maybe 7-8 inch draw. That's all you need.
Even if he has a little angle on the 13, it's still not that tough. The 9 will go in the side or the top left, the right side, goes everywhere. He's just looking at if he does come up short, which is kind of what I was referring. If he ends up with more angle than he needs, would that be okay as well?
And he played it just about perfect.
Yeah, this match is over. He's going to do a victory lap before he makes the last ball.
Oh, he will.
And listen for the crowd.
The hometown cheer.
Yeah,
oh,
it's going to be exciting.
Yep. And the poor guy, he's hurt. He's a hurting unit.
Well, this is probably big for his
confidence
right now.
After having had a bit of a rough time the last couple of days.
Yeah. This might make him feel a little better.
I think so. $1,000 in my pocket would make me feel a lot better.
Mm-hmm. I think more than the money, just the pride of it is worth way more than the money, right?
You just proved something here tonight, you
Yeah.
know? And, you know, there were a lot of people that thought it wasn't a good match, that Magoo would, that Magoo would dominate him.
I may have been one of those
people.
Yeah,
may have been one of those people. Did we talk about that?
I didn't think dominate, but I thought Magoo would win 9-6 or 5.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
There were a lot of sixes in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a fair amount of action on the, and there were a lot of sixes in the room for this.
Which is so much fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's so much fun to have.
Just brings a little bit more to the game,
Exactly.
It just brings a little bit of fun to it.
He's going to roll and play the side next.
Wow.
I think he should have just played a stop shot, but this brings the right side pocket into play. He wears his heart on his sleeve, this guy.
Sure does.
I love it.
There's no mistaking.
I love it.
He can't get underneath it either because he's so close to the rim.
Angela Belden, table 11, please. Angela Belden.
Big shot. I'd go as far as to say if he doesn't make this work, he doesn't win this match.
Oh my goodness.
He absolutely needs to make this ball. These kind of turning points can just be devastating if you don't get out here. I think he's okay. He's such a good potter.
Andrew Sprague, Brian Willis.
Andrew got called to play, but he ain't leaving now.
No. I think that's just for reference. Brian's got him looked after.
Oh, he did.
Brutal.
Oh, and Magoo is pumped, and he should be. The match was over.
Goodness.
He was already shaking hands. In his head, he was shaking hands.
We might have cursed him on that. I'm just saying,
I feel like, so I've been going over this for a while. Well, you watch a lot of Q Sports Live, right?
Absolutely. Did we just talk about it?
Is the curse real? I don't think it is.
I don't know. I'm just surprised he didn't stop it on the 13 instead of rolling it up ahead. I thought it was a dead stop shot and an easy out. But,
and if he was going to roll ahead, I think he had to play to the side pocket, and you couldn't go wrong that way.
6 inches short of that.
There might have been – I'd love to blame the commentator curse there, but I think the pressure maybe was a factor.
Absolutely.
Which it isn't usually with McGee.
No.
He bottles it up pretty good, but that time it might have got to him. Now, Magoo doesn't often look nervous with one ball and ball in hand, but he looks a little nervous over this 8-ball.
He can't make any, he really can't afford to make any more mistakes.
I think he knows it too, that it's going to be really tough for McGee to finish if he gets another chance. It's going to be in the back of his head that he already had the match won, right? I only know because I've done it so many times I can't count.
There it is, 8-7.
I've been in that spot so many times where I coughed it up and then it's so hard to finish after. Well, we'll see. McGee's done well the whole match to keep it close. Another one of our great Q Sports Live sponsors here, Jam Up Apparel, guys. Go check them out online. All kinds of cool stuff on there. Men's clothes, women's clothes, kids' clothes. And that's where you can find all the official Q Sports Live gear. And part of Team Jam Up and Team Q Sports Live, Mr. John Mora. I'm sure you
Hey, I
guys
like your shirt, Ben.
these are nice.
Yeah,
The Jam Up is beautiful.
They are.
And the
They
quality
are.
feel.
Oh, is that nice?
Yeah.
That's the nicest my fingers have felt all day.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
you probably want to rub it on your face, but we're not going to go there.
Well, this microphone would get in the way to
Right,
start
right.
with, you know. So I don't want to wreck the new gear that you got here. So
You like the new mics?
you know what? But compared to the last mics that you had, and I could never, like, I worked in radio for years,
And you
I
couldn't
could
figure those
not
out?
figure out how to put that thing on my head.
That's
You
awesome.
know what it reminded me of? The old braces contraptions that used to strap on around your ears and everything and come around
It
out
was
the front.
it was
Yeah.
similar to that.
Sort of, yeah. All right, 8-7. Here we go.
He's made a ball, but it looks like stuff's a little tied up here.
Tied up.
And by a little, I mean a lot.
10-2, 6-7-9. Although he could probably make the 9 right now if he wanted to. It looks like it'll slip by the 7. Although he's
Yeah, the,
just started to, so it doesn't matter.
the 9 will go. The 13 will be an issue as well if he does shoot stripes. I think he has to shoot stripes. I don't think there's any way you can break out the 4, 7, and the 6. It would just be too much to ask for. I think he'll go for the out, though. Magoo's a pretty aggressive player,
He is an aggressive player, there's no question.
which is a good way to play 8-ball. It does need to be played aggressively at the highest level. There is a little tiny window between the 2-1 if he wanted to shoot the 3 and try to break those 3 balls out. That would be a tall
Well,
task.
you said he was an aggressive player. That would be an aggressive play.
He looks like, I mean, just breaking all these balls out is
Wow.
too tough.
He might have just fouled there, too.
Yeah.
He did. Wow.
McGee, I think he's going to shoot stripes and just break out the 10 on the first shot.
Maybe with the 13.
Maybe with the 13. The other tricky ball might be the 14. But once he
But if he breaks that 10 out, then the 2's going to go, too, and he'll
Exactly.
clear out the 14.
Exactly. And with the 9 ball over the side, this is nice. You always have that ball as an option later on here.
Absolutely, and you don't really want to move it until the very end because it helps seal up the 6-7, right?
Exactly. That'd be the ideal out ball. I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to play the 13 and break it out. The other option is play the 14 in the side, draw into it to break it out, but I think that's a little tougher. I think I heard them call last match too,
Yeah.
which is nice.
What
It's
time is it?
only 9:30. This is 3 hours. This is Calgary time.
Okay. I was going to say it feels a lot later than 6:30
Then
right
6:30.
now. I miss both.
Oh, that's maybe best case scenario that he didn't get the breakout at least.
Yes.
I'm telling you, though, he's a little rattled from that last game. It's so hard to recover from that.
Yep. When it's staring you right in the face like that, and all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, you're already counting the money. The money's already in the bank, and then all of a
Money's
sudden,
in my wallet, actually, in my bag right here.
well, is there a casino here? Let's go.
Yeah. We're just going to shut the feed off for a minute. You guys
Yeah.
can watch the rest without commentary.
That's a good shot. He did, in fact, hit the 6 first there, but the table was still open.
Table was still open.
And he can't see the 14, and I don't think
He's
the
got
14.
a tough shot over the 6 and 7 here, too. He could have left himself a little bit better with a draw off that 9, maybe. Pull it back for the 13 and then try for that breakout that Kevin missed.
Well, the nice thing is, and the reason he plays safe here, he's going to put it back on McGee. And McGee needs to find something to do with the 6-7 in his very difficult spot.
Yep.
The 4 lays nice to break it out, but you still need to do something with the 2 ball.
He might try for a hook here off the 6. Nice little tap.
Yeah, he'll just touch into it. leave him shooting over a ball again. You can see the 12 up near the top right. But
Can he see the 13? No, he probably can't see the 13 in the corner.
I actually
It's
think
pretty close.
he might be able to spin it, but it's spinning the wrong way. He'd like to spin it the other way to get the breakout. I do like leaving the 13 there just
He might play
as
safe
a little
again here.
insurance.
Yep.
Put this near the pocket. He did well there. Anytime you do that, you want to leave the ball right near the hole if you can.
Sure. Covers the pocket and leaves it there for safety.
Yeah, it takes away all the safeties that McGee might have possibly had. But rolling onto these balls is good because he's slowly developing them too.
He could roll up onto that 6 nice and light.
He's trying to tie up the 13. I think
And
he's
I
left
think
it
he
this
left it.
time. And the angle to break the 10.
Both. He's not happy about that.
So does he go into the 2 ball or do you try to go into the 10 ball here? This I'm
That
not a fan of.
Was surprising.
I think that's a bad shot.
Maybe he just got into defense mode and couldn't snap out of it. I thought the 13 would go, and like you said, it left pretty good shape for a breakout on the 10. You run into the 10.
Yeah, and it's
Sneak
over.
past the 2.
And a controlled breakout too. He had the right angle where he could really control the breakout.
Maybe he's thinking that McGee's a little rattled and
He's trying
a
to
little
put it
more
on him.
rattle.
Yeah, maybe rattle him a little more even, right? If this goes hill, I would have to think Magoo is quite a big favorite.
Well, he was a favorite going in. So in a hill
It
game,
would make
with
sense,
him
but
having the break, you can't.
just with the way the match has gone, it was all Magoo for most of the match. And then McGee made his move right from, I think the score was 7-5 at one point. Or it would have been 6-5 rather, 6-4, 6-5, and then McGee made a move and took the lead at 8-6. Magoo's looking to answer and get this to Hill, which I'm sure is what everyone wants to see.
Well, I mean, drama factor is appealing.
I would love it just as much as anyone. And Magoo's just going to wait until Mike's done shooting on the table beside him. This would be the point in the match where you definitely don't want anything distracting you, or bumping into you would be worst case. You foul or something. It's happened.
It can happen.
So I think he'll play just a little draw left and get on the 10 next year. Which he did, and did well.
I got to go ref a shot, Ben. I'll be back.
Absolutely. So I think he can just shoot this in the top left first. I think that's the correct way here. Shoot the 15 in the top left. He just doesn't want to shoot it until this shot on the other table, which I'll give you guys a quick view of here. He just doesn't want to shoot it until Mike shoots this ball. He just definitely don't want anything distracting you now at this point in the match. I am playing in Nanaimo, Tyler. I'll be there playing singles, teams, all that fun stuff. Okay, this is the shot. Does he shape the side? Does he shape the top left? It appears to be a little tight by the 2, but it does in fact go. Or does he shape the top right? He's shaping the top left. It does go. And he's dead straight in. We're going to have a hill match here, guys. Hold your breath. Wants to be sure here, but he's got plenty of the pocket. I'm sitting right down the barrel. Todd, what's up? Score in snooker was not good. Not worthy of mentioning. No high runs. And we are at the 2019 CCS Maritime 8-Ball Championships in beautiful Charlottetown, PEI. We're watching the Magoo-McGee Challenge, presented by the Big Bahamian and Cowboy Jim. They are, in fact, racing to 9, not 13, as it says on the poster. And we're hill, guys.
Can't get any better than that.
Can't get any better than that. And Magoo's back there making it rain. Fantastic match. I think we'll see Wayne spend his sweet time making this rack good.
Yeah.
You don't want a gaff rack here. Hey, anytime, Tyler. Just come find me when we're there. And we'll set something up. Play for a drink or something. Something fun.
When you say a drink, you mean a drink for your whole team.
No, I like to play for friendly with people I've never met. Last thing I want to do is be stealing from a guy if he doesn't play very good. If he plays real good, then we'll play for more. I mean, it's up to him, but looks like we got fans of both people here. BJ rooting for Magoo, Patrick Magoo. And thank you, Eric, on the YouTube. Gonna need it. Mr. Grant plays pretty jam-up game. All right, here we go, guys. If you haven't shared the stream yet,
This would be a great game to watch.
this would be the time to share it. Hill, $1,000 winner take all. We're doing great, Brian. How are you? Couldn't be better. I mean, Hill in the challenge match. He needs a ball, and he's not getting one. Oh, McGee's going to have the first crack to win this match. And by first, I mean second crack. He already had one great one. So, like I mentioned before, it's not easy to recover. Let's see if he can do it. I'm sure the thought of the ball that he scratched on is still weighing fairly heavy on him. I know it would be if I was in his shoes. It's tough to just blank it out. So this table actually doesn't look too bad to run stripes. You can open with the 11 and maybe nudge into the 1 that'll open the 9 over the side. All the balls go. That might be the only ball he has to move. It looks like a hometown fave one over there. Mike just won Hill.
Another good match.
Another good match. We got lots of Hill already.
Mine went Hill, but it turned out bad.
All double elimination, still in.
Yep.
Same race on the B side.
Oh, just makes me mad when I give it away, though.
Well, 9-foot pool is not your forte,
No.
so I know these guys play a lot of 9-foot. All right, thanks everyone for sharing. Looks like we got up over that 200 mark on Facebook.
Nice. 68 on YouTube. Doing pretty good there. See if we can get YouTube to 100.
So McGee doesn't like opening with the 11, so I think he's shooting the 13 first, which is okay as long as he gets on that 11 soon. I really like shooting it now while the angle is perfect. It's a little further away than preferred, but I like shooting it right now.
Yeah, there's nothing hampering him anyway for his bridging hand either.
Yeah, he can cue at that pretty clean. The 5 doesn't come into play either for his bridge hand, so. But we'll see if he shoots a 13 first, he needs to deal with that pretty soon. Now he keeps looking at where he wants to be on that 15, but I can't imagine he's going from the 13 to the 15.
Almost looks like he is. Nope, a little soft.
He's playing to the 14 there. Then he'll play the 12, then the 15. And he can play the 9 and possibly the 11 in the top left. This is definitely workable.
I don't know if they did the draw or not.
I don't think they have the draw. Or I would imagine it'll be done soon because play starts at 9. So
they did share him to the
there's a chance
PEI Billiards Facebook page, I think.
There's a chance they didn't do the draw yet, as they're hoping everyone will show up for the players meeting at 8:30. If they do the draw and people see they have a bye, they might not show up.
Oh, so they're starting tonight? 9 o'clock? Is that the
No,
time?
9 a.m.
9 a.m., okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great pattern there, JoJo. The only flaw is you forgot one ball.
Yeah.
When do you shoot the 10? But that works just as well after the 11, so I see what you're saying. He doesn't want to be on the rail here. He's got more angle than he wanted, and he's on the rail. So he'll need to jack up and get under this a little. This is not ideal anymore. He may need to shoot the 10 after the 15. The 10, the 9, the 11. There's a lot of pressure on this game, too. This is not an easy out in the first game of the match, let alone in the last game of the match. Oh, no way, Beth. I'm only 5'5" and short arms, and I play good on the 9 foot. Just got to be good at reaching.
Yeah.
Helps to be good if you can shoot with the opposite hand or good with the rest. Dempsey, it looks like the draw is up for the advance. TJ just let us know that info. So now McGee's looking at my original plan, which was when he shoots the 11, he'll just bump into the 1, and that opens the 9. Or if he gets the proper angle, he'll shoot the 11 and the 9 in the same pocket after the 10. This is that was a really well played shot to get closer to this ball. He's going to have more angle than he wants on the 11, but it's very possible.
Well, even if he doesn't run out here, low ball's not looking the easiest with the 2-7 sitting right there and the 5 on the bottom rail.
Not super easy for Hill, but for
if you get a chance
for these guys,
they're going to be happy.
For these guys' level of play, yeah, I would imagine they would make it work. But the pressure is there. I mean, it's not easy. Oh, Beth. No, I don't have a large rack in my way either, other than the odd time the triangle gets in the way, right? But that'll definitely play a factor.
Well, like I was telling Ben, I said the more weight I've been losing, the easier it is to reach over the table and stuff. Yeah, makes a difference.
He's shooting the 11 now, and I think I like it. I think I like playing the 11 now. And that way, if you don't get the proper rub on the 9, you still have the 10 as an option. Good one, Dempsey. I might have to screenshot that you wanted 5-21 from me, and I'll post it on Facebook for all the world to see. The great Chris Dempsey only wants 5-21. He overcut it? No, he hit it good. He hit it real good. That was a fantastic shot. That could be the match winner.
Yeah, he's sitting pretty good.
He's going to do a lap, get a little more baby powder on his hand there. Hands are probably getting a little clammy being hill. I know mine always do.
Yeah.
Get a little sweaty, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's
If
the
you're
adrenaline.
not nervous here, there's something wrong.
That's what I'm saying. People say, I don't get nervous. No way. You're a robot.
Yeah.
You got to be nervous.
Shouldn't be missing anything then.
Yeah. You don't have a heartbeat. Maybe you should check your pulse. Right? That's what makes your hand sweat in these situations is your heart rate increases, the adrenaline increases in your hand sweat.
It's got a little off angle here. Gotta be careful. Depending on the angle, although he's tight to the rail, I was going to say take the 10 up, but and then the 9, but
I definitely like shooting the 9 now.
Does he play the window between the 4-1 or does he try to draw it into the 1? Came under. Nice shot.
Yeah, that's perfect. And he's not going to be queuing over the 1. I think he's queuing right between the 4-1 window.
Take a stop shot and put the 8 in the top left.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to do too much here. You could try to shape it for the side. It's just not necessary.
No.
Just stop it. Keep it simple. He is shooting a little over the 1, though. That could be a factor, especially with nerves.
Yeah.
Especially when nerves are at a maximum.
Might overthink this a little too much.
No, he doesn't. He spends a lot of time on all the shots. Yeah. This is where I would already miss the ball because I've already overthought it, right? But everyone has their own pace, so he plays well when he's taking his time. Gives everything the be sure. He never shoots a ball unless he's sure.
On that shots like this, you don't want to do anything outside your normal either.
Yeah, and you don't want to, jump to conclusions and play it too quick with the pressure there, right? He played the side. He played the side, and you can never miss this ball. That was a good shot. Gutsy move, but well executed. Listen for the crowd's going to go wild here. Congrats to Mr. McGee. What a match.
To the winner of the McGee Challenge, Kevin McGee. Congratulations. It was a good match. To the bar. Thank you so much. I'd like to invite our main sponsor, the Big Bahamian, Patrick Stewart, to make the prize presentation to our winner, Kevin. Wayne, you got a camera on there? Look at that beautiful device Kevin has. Can you take a picture? All right.
Did it already?
Thanks everybody for coming out to watch the McGee Challenge. Play gets underway at 9 o'clock here tomorrow morning. Come on out and see some of the best pool that's ever been played here on Prince Edward Island. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. That's it for us for the night. If you haven't already, make sure you go to the Q Sports Live Facebook page. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button on the YouTube. All that good stuff. And we will be back playing at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's 8 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Mountain Time if you're in Calgary, guys. So once again, thanks everyone for tuning in, and good night all. We'll see you in the morning.